Penguin Random House Audio presents Wild Courage. Go after what you want and get it. This is the author, Jenny Wood. To my son, Ari, and my daughter, Noah, may you have the courage to go after what you want and get it. I believe it may be necessary to encounter many defeats without being defeated by them. Maya Angelou. Gather your courage. I've gotta be me. Sammy Davis Jr. Years ago, I chased a total stranger off the New York City subway. Today, he's my husband and the father of our 2 children. The wild courage I mustered that day has driven my professional achievements as well. First, as a researcher at Harvard Business School, then as an executive at Google, where I climbed the ranks for nearly 2 decades, and now as an author, speaker, and consultant to Fortune 500 companies. Why is courage essential to success? Because we are often timid on the inside. Every single one of us, including me. At Google, I conjured up plenty of fear. Fear that I wouldn't impress my boss in our weekly one-on-one. Fear that I would say something stupid in that big meeting full of VIPs. Fear that no one would ever forget that presentation I flubbed. Cool and collected exec on the outside, a lot more going on the inside. I realized that fear will always be my companion. But I have succeeded largely by pushing through that fear to achieve my heartfelt ambitions. That's where all ambitions hide, on the other side of fear. This book will help you do the same, to feel the fear, acknowledge it, and set it aside. To unapologetically chase after what you want in life as though your life depends on it. It does. My experiences have taught me that to be successful, you must act as if you already are. In this book, I will help you find the courage to walk the path to success before you're successful. Here you will discover an arsenal of techniques to help you get ahead in your career, build stronger personal and professional relationships, promote your accomplishments with unshakable confidence, and more. The one thing that will help you stop worrying what others think and start moving toward your dreams is courage. Wild quantities of courage. If you accept this book's challenge, you'll be astonished by what you discover. After a courageous act or two, you'll realize that many of your fears are just stories you're telling yourself. They aren't real. You can choose to listen to them or rewrite them. That said, fear isn't useless. It's actually a handy compass. When fear says run away, it means you're chasing something important to you, something valuable. Resist the urge to avoid the very behaviors that will accelerate your growth and maximize the chances of personal and professional success. To grasp the prize, you're going to have to reach, stretch, and get pretty uncomfortable. And that's scary. Fear is there to keep you safe and small. When fear tells you to stop, you may have only a split second to decide. Don't balk. Think wild courage and go for it. Chase after what you want, whether it's the job of your dreams, the business you've always wanted to build, or, as was my experience on the subway, the ideal partner for you. Wild courage will change your life. When I turned 30, I was riding the C train home from work when I noticed the gorgeous guy holding onto the car's middle pole 20 feet away from me. He was just my type. Thick hair, 5 o'clock shadow, beautiful eyes. Because he seemed artsy, I guessed he was a theatrical set designer or something along those New York lines. As the train rolled along the tracks, I came up with all sorts of stories about what he was doing and where he was going next. There are no social norms around talking to people on the subway. You just don't. However, I decided that if the guy got off at my stop, 72nd Street, I'd say hi, come what may. If not, I'd let it go. He got off at 59th. I thought, oh well, that's fate saying it wasn't meant to be. But then I remembered that I don't believe in fate. I make my own luck. Leaping to my feet, I darted through the crowd and squeezed through the subway doors as they closed. As described in a New York Times article that went viral, I tapped the guy on the shoulder as he reached the station exit. Then, I took my huffing and disheveled shot at creating the life I wanted for myself. You're wearing gloves, so I can't tell if you've got a wedding ring. However, if you're not married, you were on my subway and I think you're cute. Can I give you my business card? Listener, John took the card. It was a pretty gutsy thing to do, John later told the Times. That sort of thing appeals to me. Too excited to wait for the next train, I walked the remaining 13 blocks home, smiling through a blizzard. Serendipity isn't found, it's made. Sure, my behavior was a little out there. The story of how I met my husband goes against so many unspoken rules. We're told all these stories about how we're supposed to meet a romantic partner, like the old notion that the man is supposed to pursue and the woman is supposed to play hard to get. Or that when fate, i.e. luck, plays a role, it means the relationship was meant to be. If I dutifully followed the arbitrary dating rules until things felt meant to be instead of summoning the courage to hustle off that train, I'd still be single. I made my own meant to be. All it took was wild courage. This book is about getting what you want in life and why it's not talent, skill, money, or luck standing in your way. It's you. You. And that's such good news. It means that all you really need to do is overcome your limited mindset, your self-defeating attitude, your worries and fears. Once you quiet the stubborn inner voice telling you to hold back when you could be leaping forward, all the obstacles out there will no longer intimidate you. You can let that voice stand in your way forever, or you can take courage from a simple truth. This is your life and no one else's. Whatever you've been through and wherever you are right now, you can always take the wheel and drive. You have agency. All it takes is courage to push through your fear of the unknown, fear of discomfort, fear of failure, and most of all, fear of the judgment of others. Brave these fears and nothing is beyond your grasp. Ironically, we usually know what it will take to achieve our biggest ambitions, but we don't take action because we're worried about how it might look. We fear what other people, even strangers, will think of us if we carve a path instead of following the crowd. The desire to fit in runs deep. Shake off these irrational fears and you'll be free. Free to act on your behalf for the first time in your life. Free to become your own champion. Everything you've wanted is on the other side of fear. Again, this isn't about the fear of heights or fear of clowns, unless you want to become a pilot or a circus ringmaster. When it comes to personal and professional goals, we're quaking with fear of the judgment of others. What friends, family, and even complete strangers will think about us if we seize the spotlight. This fear drives us to conform instead of conquer. Successful people take action despite their fear. They muster the courage to do what's necessary to succeed before it's encouraged by others or even considered socially acceptable. What they don't do is look elsewhere for permission or affirmation. They don't wait until everyone else is doing it. No, they just act. Others may judge them, but they persevere, confident that success will justify their actions retroactively. Remember, we hear about innovators, entrepreneurs, artists, and others who inspire us only after their gambles have paid off. We rarely see how risky their actions looked before success transformed weirdness into authenticity and recklessness into courage. When someone achieves something extraordinary, developing a world-changing innovation, launching a successful business, directing a hit movie, we rub out all the daring lines they crossed to get there. In hindsight, the risks they took to reach the top look shrewd, wise, and perceptive. They didn't at the time. Ironically, people will scour a successful person.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?